Modern day trucking suffers from having to operate under the illusion of safety for the sake of public perception. This video is brought to you by GP Transco. Probably the best example of this is the looming mandate on auto braking systems. Now, auto braking was designed, depending on who you believe and what resource you trust. It was either designed by Honda in 2003 or by Volvo in 2009. Either way, after all these years of development, it still doesn't really work very well. Recently, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recalled over 250,000 Freightliners because of problems with their auto braking systems. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. But why does trucking employ such a fallible system? It's for the illusion of safety to the public. Now, the insurance industry loves anything that has the perception of safety. So the insurance industry will offer fleets discounts on their fleet insurance if their trucks have auto braking systems. But it's the illusion of safety. Even Freightliner admits that their testing of their auto braking systems is unrealistic to real-world conditions. Now, perhaps the best example of auto braking systems failure was in Florida in 2016 when a Tesla car failed to see an entire transport truck crossing in front of it and hit that transport at 70 miles an hour. Why didn't the auto braking system stop the car and avoid the accident? Well, as it turns out later, after many years of investigation, the system did see the truck. It just failed to operate the braking system. The problem with auto braking is twofold. Number one, they rely on sensors. And sensors are electronic modules plugged into mechanical devices that can and do fail. And they're bad in bad weather conditions. They fail in bad weather. Anything from rain to snow to sandstorms to ice can confuse and block the sensors. Or if the vehicle is parked overnight, it snows, and you fail to clear off all the snow from the vehicle, that can affect the performance of the sensors. When the sensors do fail, often they can record and display false positives, and that can cause anything from making the vehicle slow to making the vehicle just slam on its brakes at highway speeds, from highway speeds, right in the driving lane. Now, can you imagine the effect of that on a slippery road when you're surrounded by cars, or on a snowy mountain pass? Or sensor failures can mean that the sensors fail to recognize objects crossing in front of their path, such as a cyclist or a child on a bicycle. A current way to fight this recent freight recession is to work for a good carrier that has lots of freight. GP Transco is not suffering from a freight shortage. First-year drivers there can make between $80,000 and $90,000 a year. They've got W-2 benefits, a full pay package, a 401k with a company match, and they also hire owner-operators. Check them out at gptransco.com. The second problem with auto braking systems is how humans interact with these systems. Now, there are at least 10 different manufacturers of auto braking systems, and they're all slightly different. And part of the problem with auto braking systems has been the human interaction, because humans will come to rely on these systems and they'll become complacent drivers, counting on these systems to stop them when they need to. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. If auto braking worked 100% of the time in all conditions, I'd be all for it. But it doesn't, and I'm not. I don't like the fact that the testing is done on public highways and roads. I don't like the fact that truck drivers are used as the guinea pigs for testing these systems. I don't like the fact that auto braking technology is intended to diminish the driving skill of truck drivers, and I don't like the fact that auto braking systems are part of a bigger picture to incorporate autonomous trucks into our systems and get rid of truck drivers altogether. Now, some people will argue that auto braking and autonomous trucks is progress. That's all part of progress. You've got to roll with it. I don't agree with that concept of progress. I think progress is when you've got a healthy economy, a healthy country, a healthy workforce, a happy workforce, and everyone is well paid, making money, and living well. Progress, to me, is not making a few CEOs, patent holders, and systems design engineers wealthy at the cost of putting a workforce of millions of people in the trucking industry out of work. They're also putting that same workforce at risk, as well as the driving public on our roads around these vehicles. Until auto braking is perfected, keep them off our roads and keep them on test tracks where they belong. If auto braking ever is perfected, use it as a system to help truck drivers stop safely rather than replace truck drivers. Stay safe. Get rid of auto braking and this faulty technology so we can keep the rubber side down. I'll see you on the backhaul.